Cedar Grove, and we ran into each other. And he says, George, we've hired a new coach. He needs some coaches. Why don't you go and see, Coach Cap? And so I was
That's
engaged.
going back.
That's going back.
That's going
So I was
back.
engaged to my wife, and I said, Jean.
She's a Panther?
No. We met in college. We met in
Okay.
college. She's a New York girl.
Okay.
So I said, we're saving up for the wedding, saving up to buy a house. It's an opportunity to coach. Just going to be a couple months. It's maybe a 1-year thing. Okay, all favor, let's do it. So I go down. I see Coach Cap on a Friday morning. He's like, hey, George tells me that, you played here and you played college. I go, yeah. He goes, all right, we start on this date, you're in.
Sounds like Coach Fred Hill and Gina Cola, the way they talk. They went to the same school, all of them.
Back in the
Just
day.
don't be late.
That's it. One rule, be
Say
on
whatever
time.
you got to say.
Right.
Do whatever you got to do. 2 o'clock, Moose. I see you on the field.
That is
That
it.
was
So
it.
that's 35 years ago. So Cedar Grove as an assistant. We went to Clifton, went to Westwood. Coach Cap moved to Verona. Now, if you know anything about Cedar Grove, right?
That's your arch rival.
And I said,
Hillbillies.
yes, Cap, I cannot
And will
wear
not.
the maroon and will not wear the maroon and white. I can't. So he went to Verona. I stayed at Westwood. I was fortunate they gave me the opportunity to start as a beginning a head coach. And Poochie,
Yes, I do.
You think you know a lot, and you think you're ready, and then now you're the guy with the whistle, and you're the guy making all the plans.
Wearing
and
the crown.
answering to the parents. It was a learning experience. I'm very fortunate. Great group of coaches, great group of administrators, and we learned as we went. I was there for 11 years at Westwood. We won the first state championship in school history
Didn't
back
they just
in
win
2000.
last year?
They did. The program has really taken off, and what I'm so proud about, some of my former players
A coach.
are coaching there.
Well, let's get into that. Where I always said I got it from my daddy, where much is given, even more is required.
Yes.
And isn't it a beautiful thing to see young adolescents that you saw as young people now coming to their own and not be self-centered? There's nothing wrong with being selfish. Everyone has a little bit. But self-centered, and they give back to where they came from.
That is so true. When I talk and when I've been interviewing for jobs and they say, well, how will we know you're successful? I said, well, some people, those in the stands are going to look at the wins and losses. I said, but for me personally,
Changing
show me
lives.
where these young men are in 5, 10, and 15 years, right? Have they graduated college? Are they husbands? Are they dads? Are they community servants? Are they providing back? If they've done that, then yeah, I've helped in some small bit, and that's how we keep paying it forward.
Question, G, and that's just here. You're a public servant. How did you get into it there, and why do you still do it?
Well, love the game, love being around the young people, as we talked about. It's the opportunity to give back. I've had so many people in my life who've given of themselves, who've helped me get to where I am. To pay it back is a tribute to them, to thank them. And we've said many times to kids, you don't know sometimes the people who have done things for you because they've never said it, but they've been there. They've been around you. You just haven't seen them, but they're in the shadows pushing you along, right? We all stand on the shoulders of so many.
That's America.
Yeah.
Getting into that there, we're not going to go into no politics or anything, but the creed that we came up under, our parents that came before us, it was essential that you take care of those that came behind you because you would not be where you are
Right.
or acknowledgeable of what you are acknowledgeable of
Right.
if someone didn't bring you into the fold. It's not always what you know, who you know. Now, on the reverse, who you know is good, but sometimes you need to understand you still have to learn even though you do know some things.
Oh, all the time. Learning is never ending, right? As you mentioned, we learn something new every day. I used to say that at work all the time. We will always learn something new. I said to the young coaches, I may have been doing this for 30 some odd years, but there's always something new. There's always going to be an experience or an occasion. You say, wow, I haven't come across that before, but let me draw back on some experience. Let's look at the current facts and try and make the best decision that we can for what we know right now.
They say that you cannot get wisdom unless you've been there. How do you feel about that?
Well,
Good one?
I think it's a very good one. I think it's a very good one. Yeah. I mean, you always are going to fall back on your experiences, good and bad. Say that to our kids all the time. You know, learn from others. Learn what you want to emulate, and maybe what you don't want to emulate, because it doesn't make you feel good. So you know you don't want to do that.
True. You know, I want to speak of how the other endeavors that you have that goes into the weekend of the North-South game, from exposing the young people to what college life would be like. I would like to give an applaud to Coach Dan Garrett and Keene University for opening up their, I shouldn't say enrollment, but opening up their doors of welcoming for a whole weekend, dealing with adolescents that really don't know what college life is physically. They just see it through a brochure.
Right.
So in that endeavor alone, you even deal with the, the younger kids is Leaders for Life.
Right. So first I'll start with Coach Danny Garrett. Tremendous coach. He and his coaches are wonderful. And a little tidbit, I had the opportunity to coach Dan Garrett back at Clifton. Right? So
really?
We go way back. Yes, way back. Love Danny, love his family.
He's a brother of mine.
Wonderful man. You know, we talk about the All-Star game, and let's break down, because it's multifaceted. We have the boys. For the first time ever, we have the girls, right? What a great occasion that is, and those girls are tremendous. I'm so happy we've broadened our stuff, our reach, and the Leaders for Life program, of which you've been a part of. We talk about passing on wisdom, trying to help young people. The Leaders for Life program is one of the highlights for me of the weekend. It's bringing in young people and exposing them to what's around.
Structure.
Yes, what's outside their community, right? Seeing a college campus, sitting with the athletes and sharing a meal with a no cell phone zone, right? No cell phones. Being able to hear other community leaders come in. This past year, as you know, we had the FBI come in. We had the Union Township Police and Fire come in. We had Rutgers come in to talk about the importance of academics and athletics. And with each of the groups speaking, we had the U.S. Army there, they all talked about the importance of academics, how they're looking for leaders who have an athletic background and are able to lead people, are able to work as a group. Right, so to me, it's a tremendous opportunity to once again to give back, to hopefully challenge young kids to see opportunities and maybe set their work ethic and their dreams to that.
I love everything you say because it's true. We're living it. How hard is it before the show comes on and everyone looks at it? What about the dark age? That's the year before, each year. Scrambling and trying to get this and get that there. You got to put that out there too, because they don't have no idea of the headaches that you go through, and the volunteers that constantly help you all year round.
Very, very true. You know, we had to we apply for grants and whatnot, and they ask how many man hours do you put in, and so I sat down and started to calculate not only my own but the rest of the team, because it is it's an annual full year development, just like being a football coach, right? This is not just you pick up the ball in August, you put it down in December, right? So we are year round. We're working right now on the 2025 game. And to be honest, we started working on the 2025 game the week after the 24 game ended. So it is a year-round venture. We are always going out and looking for sponsors to help in our endeavor. As with anything else, we are the game in the state. And being that, housing the kids, multiple meals, beefsteak, the gear, awards, whatnot, that costs money.
Yes, it does.
Our budget is easily over it's mid six figures. I'll
Really?
just say that without being specific. And so we are always out trying to elicit funds from corporations and from individuals whose mindset and mission mirrors ours.
You know, in today's day and time, everyone takes. How hard is that?
It is very hard. I will grant you that. I understand being a business person. I understand because we are consistently asked, can we sponsor, can we partake in? And we certainly try to do as much as we can for those in need. I think that's an important part to give back. But unfortunately, you cannot say yes to everybody.
Cannot.
So you do have to pick and choose, and just as we look, does our mission, do our values align with those that are requesting the funding?
Or
and if
asking.
Yes, and if they do, then yes, we're going to move forward. That's where we hope, when I'm reaching out on behalf of the All-Star Game, that our values and our goals of promoting the game of football for boys and girls and providing opportunities for young people to see what's available for them down the road, do those goals match with the goals of your organization? And if they do, can we have a win-win? I've always approached our sponsors, it has to be a win-win for both. What can we do for you and you help us at the same time? I'm very proud to say that the core of our sponsor group have been with us for many, many years, several over a decade. You know, it's important, and we are very proud of the fact that we're able to establish strong relationships with corporations.
Consistency.
Yes, consistency. You know, they understand the passion that we have, and they support that. They support our mission.
You know, we're speaking of the girls. Isn't it something how that game has skyrocketed? And they're pretty doggone good.
They are awesome. The athletic
pretty
ability,
good.
and you know, we talk about
And they're good students too.
good students.
The girls, not taking nothing from the boys,
No.
but understanding.
Good students speak well for themselves, present themselves well, represent their schools and communities proudly, and they know the game of football.
Yes, they do from a cerebral perspective.
Yes. You can talk football with them. Shades, alignments, twists, digs, you know, curls, outs, you know, reading 1 to 2, right? Zone versus man. You can talk that with the girls, and it is wonderful to see. I think that the expansion of this game amongst the young women will just truly continue to enhance the game, because these young women eventually, you know, will be wives and moms and supporting their sons and daughters, not just for football.
To be athletic competitors.
Yes, athletic competitors. Sports is a wonderful, wonderful vehicle for our young people. Teaches them, if nothing else, that it's more than just you. Right? There's more than just you out there. And when you're part of a team and you're successful, or when you're not,
I
right?
goes out the door.
Yes, there is no I. It's we, it's us, right?
Plural.
We will celebrate or console together.
You know, it's funny that we're speaking of the girls like that there, but I find, see, our time, I was just had this conversation recently of how I asked, would you take skill over will? I'd like to hear what you have to say out there. From a coaching perspective, from a parent perspective, and now us being AARP members. Because I always said will, because all of us had to get out.
Yes. Give me will every day of the week, twice on Sunday, because we will, right? We will. Give me a group of kids who want to work, value each other, appreciate each other, and are willing to push hard for each other. Let's take that and be a team, and let's go up against the individuals, and let's see how we do.
You know something else I found out too, and I might as well bring it to the forefront? Athletics. There is no religion restrictions. There's no ethnic restrictions. It's just competing.
Exactly. If our country could take what we have in the locker room and transcend it, man, we'd be like this.